Welcome back to Daily Flash. Mother's Day is this weekend, and even though the mother-child relationship can sometimes be difficult, it is probably the most important family bond you will ever have. Our next guest, Judy Wilkins-Smith, says these types of challenging relationships are often inherited, and we need to focus on the gifts that they contain. Judy, welcome back to Daily Flash.
Hi, it's lovely to be back with you.
So tell us, how can relationships with mothers be inherited?
Yeah, so if you have a look at patterns in families, we have a mother who's estranged from her child because maybe she walked away, maybe she wasn't emotionally available. And that pattern of thoughts, feelings, and actions, which we refer to as emotional DNA, then cycles down as a pattern of mothers not being available to children or children not connecting with their mothers. And so you see this as a pattern that repeats from generation to generation. And of course, the question during a Mother's Day piece is, can you be the change agent? Because it's always possible to change those patterns.
Why is the mother-child relationship so important when it comes to this kind of discussion?
Because the mother is the source of birth, she's the source of flow, and that translates into how you relate with your mother is often how you relate in business, and it's how you relate in groups.
Ah,
And so having that bond, I won't even say healed, but acknowledged and intact as much as it can be, is important in all areas of your life. So it's really important to make sure that that is acknowledged and given its place. If that's the least you could do, or even the most you could do, at least do that for yourself.
what is your advice for someone who feels that they might have a complicated relationship with their mom, and how can it be healed?
So the first thing to look at is and to recognize is, yes, this exists. I have a complicated relationship. But what was my mother's relationship like with her mother? And to see, is this something that's being inherited? And even if it's not, and it began with you want to go back to, so what started the complication? And do I really want to take that forward with me? Because if I do, I've got to look at my own children and ask, which one of those children will have a complicated relationship with me? And then it's having a look at what is the one thing that I could take from my mother that is good. It doesn't matter if it was the color of your eyes or your hair. What can I take that is good? And what do I need to stop and change? Just one thing. I always say to people, don't eat the whole elephant. One new thought, one new feeling, one new action that allows me to feel settled and to start shifting that relationship in a way that is good for me. Because if it's good for me, it's going to be good for us.
Sometimes there are those trigger moments, though, Judy, when it comes to dealing with relationships, when it comes to moms and even dads. But when it comes to Mother's Day, there's a lot of expectation on that holiday. Any advice for somebody who's trying to keep their wits about them and try and keep the peace within maybe a difficult situation?
Yeah, start with a peace in you. So take a nice deep breath and ask yourself, what do I want today? What do I want to create today for mom? And you know what? It's called doing your best. And then when the trigger moment happens, again, take a deep breath and recognize I have a responsibility to me. How do I want to feel at the end of this? Really, if you could start with that, it means that no matter what mom does, no matter what she says, get yourself a Starbucks or something afterwards, but take a breath and in that moment be present and know that the bond that you're creating, even if it's a small one, is going to pay big dividends.
All right. How will you be celebrating Mother's Day this weekend, Judy?
Oh, I'm super lucky. I do have a mom that I'm really close to. She was close to her mom, who was close to her mom. And I have a daughter I'm very close to, so we will continue that tradition.
So it's a wonderful tradition that you've just
Yeah.
set up from generation to generation. It gives us
We really have. And Andrea, it takes work. It
yeah,
takes work, but it's worth it.
understood. All right, Judy, thank you so much. For more information and to get a copy of Judy's book, The Hidden Power in Your DNA, please visit judywilkinssmith.com.
Can I tell my mom I love her?
Yes.
I love you, Mom.